Hey everyone, so here are some updates on the softball whip run. So everything was softball whip run or lacrosse whip run. Earlier today, I had stuff going on, um, but this is the only one I can get in. I can get in a little bit of whip run here. That's what I decided to. And earlier when I quit, I was watching golf. They had NCAA women's golf. They had the golf tournaments on for the tournaments. They had the American, they have a symbol women's golf. They're from all days. I think the American either showing just the final day of it, or they're showing like just like it is only one day. Like they don't maybe like match play, like match players, stroke players. They're just showing the final day or whatever the case is. But anyways, yeah. So I am doing that. We have California at St. Mary's here. Then we have Weber State at Utah. Number 12, South Carolina at number 19, Clemson. Then there's Troy at UAB. There is Grand Canyon at Arizona State. California at St. Mary's was at 62 Eastern. This is at my time. It shows for ESPN.com. Search watch shows or the ESPN app. But it shows that your local time zone. And then we have South Carolina at Clemson. I wish I could show you South Carolina at Clemson, but I can't get the AC network one alone. Otherwise, I would show you that one. I would show you that. Yeah. And then Oklahoma and Alabama is the re-air from one of the SEC network games on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, the 3-day series. So Troy at UAB is in. Oops. What inning are they in? They're in commercial. Troy at UAB is. Okay. So we have Grand Canyon at Arizona State. They are in commercial. We have California at St. Mary's here. I'll show you all in the games here. Right now, they're in the top of the 7th. California, the rest of the tillers. Only I like to do it. There's 3 or more. So I'll show you for a little bit, We have Weber State is 18-26, 5-4 Big Sky play, while Utah's 12-34 in Big 12 play. And they don't play every team. You don't play every team because usually what they do is in the early season they do a lot of tournaments and multi-team events where you play like there might be 8 teams, and then you play like first place game like through the 8th place game, and then 7th place, 8th place, and then you determine that. Or they do like multi-team event where it's 4 teams. You play the other 3 teams once. You play like a game a day. Play each team once or something like that. Or so, yeah. And California is already leading 8-4 in their game. So let's go to the Weber State at Utah.
First pitch from Finch. Line drive at the shortstop. She'll go the short way to third. Good contact by Jacobs. Hit it right on the button.
And that is up. Here's what I don't know. 2 outs here. California got, or it is bombed to something else, excuse me. Oh, it says up 7, up arrow 7. But yeah, that is. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Low and away. 2-2. Cal looking to improve to 29-14 on the year. The Gales would fall to 19-20 if this scoreline holds. The 2-2 offering misses high and we go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Alex Catanelli in the on-deck circle. Wasco even get the tying run to the plate, looking for a 2-out rally of epic proportions. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The payoff pitch. This one fouled away. Nobody on. Full count with 2 away. Camille Lara battling here. All 3 of the Gales batters so far have Buckley went down looking. Lane drove one to deep left field that was caught by Pond. The payoff once more. Hit on the ground. Fielded there by Andrade. The stretch and the catch are made by Bell at first. And Cal sweeps the doubleheader to move to 68-2 all time against the...
And California defeats the Mariners 8-4 and sweeps in a doubleheader. And so Weber State. Let's go back to Weber State, Utah here. This is the one that is in the top of the sun. We'll show some love. We'll show some love to Troy and UAB, and we'll also show it to the other game here between Vancouver and Arizona State. We also show a little bit of that as well. Before it goes left. But they also had some. Yesterday, earlier today, I seen they also had a continuation game between UTS. It was Texas State and UTSA. They matched up. So I'm not from it. So usually in college softball, or baseball, they don't do continuations. It's not like baseball, like major league, like MLB, like Major League Baseball, like pro baseball, and like the minor leagues, or they might play it where it's like, either they'll play the same, or wait it out, or they'll just play the same field, or even like minor league, where to say minor league, they're playing these 2 teams, and at the other team's field, they play each other at the other team's field, they'll match it up, or they'll call it. Usually, I think the only reason why is because they're playing them at the other team's field later in the year, so they could finish it. I think that's one of the main reasons, but still interesting, I guess maybe it wasn't. Maybe in like softball, you have to go through like 5 innings, I guess, to be a complete game technically, and it wasn't 5 complete, 4.5. So technically, so.
Now 3-1.
And there's a lot to say about momentum in a game.
Just got a piece of that. 3-2.
Softball's a lot faster game than baseball can seem, but it's still not basketball or football where everybody's running around every play, and so you need that momentum.
And that's ball 4, and the Wildcats have runners on first and second here, and nobody out in the 7th. Brings up Abby Grundy. Grundy's lined out, doubled and scored, and walked.
Smith at second, Solis at first, and nobody out here in the Wildcats' seventh. Right down Broadway for a strike.
That's just interesting here. I mean, this is softball is kind of an interesting sport. Like some of these smaller sports, like you got softball, you got lacrosse. You got you got the smaller sports. They don't get a lot of, softball, baseball get a lot of televised. And you actually see smaller the bigger schools going to traveling to like smaller schools, I was checking out some of these games. I seen Arkansas went to Central Arkansas. Arkansas went to like North Florida for a game. So they do have the smaller schools at the bigger schools. They have like the bigger schools traveling to smaller schools as well, which I like as well. Like basketball, some of the big sports like basketball, like the big schools, and football, like basketball, like all the money sports. They want to have as many home games as possible. Like football, you wouldn't, because you only have like a limited amount of games. But these sports aren't like huge money makers or money makers at all for these schools. Like these sports that could be like revenue losers. Like softball is. Some sports don't lose as much money on it, but some do. Really, that's all athletics. Like a lot of ones that ones that actually make money, or like football. Like if it really came down to just having the sports that are money makers for these schools, it'd really just be like football, like men's and women's basketball, like maybe men's and women's hockey for these schools. Like if the one team's making money, they could have the other team play, and then it would be like maybe volleyball starting to get into that, where like volleyball makes money. Some of the college programs, like in the Rascal, are starting to make money, but
Richardson waits on deck here for Weber State. 5-0 Wildcats, top of the seventh. Mistretti ready to go. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ran it inside, 3-2.
I like the idea of that. Come in on the hands. Sometimes you can get them to loop those, and she didn't go for it there.
Payoff pitch. Line drive, foul, stays 3-2. Outfield medium depth here for Bingham. Mistretti ready, 3-2 pitch again. Popped into foul territory, third base side, over to give it a look. It was Mayfield, but she couldn't get there. It hit the netting right over the dugout, and it stays 3-2.
Yeah, it's a good battle on both sides here. I think the theme over here is maybe stuffed animals over there in the rally dugout.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Popped foul again. The battle continues between Bingham and Mistretti.
I'm sure Mistretti wouldn't mind taking care of this one herself and move on to something else, but great battle on Bingham.
Check of the wristband. Has what she wants. 3-2 pitch one more time. Swing and a miss. Nope, foul tip. Got a little piece of it there at home plate to keep it 3-2. Grundy at second, Solis at third. 3-2 pitch once again. Rolled up the first base line, foul.
That's a good foul. Those are the ones that those swinging base hits are always frustrating as a defense.
Infield stays in here for Utah. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 on, 1 out here in the 7th. Bingham back in, Mistretti back on the rubber. One more time the payoff pitch. Fouled straight back again. At this point in time, I think Bingham's seen probably everything Mistretti has thrown, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a battle here, and I love it when they'll throw a changeup for a strike in this situation because no one believes that you'll ever do it, but they're in a full-on, locked-in battle right now.
Here's the 3-2, all 4. Bases loaded again here for Weber State.
And that was just barely off. I mean, that spot on the plate, it's kind of been hovering. Yeah, just a little out of the good line, a little high.
So the bases loaded here for Richardson. Ball 1. Eva Richardson walked in the 6th, came around to score as a pinch hitter. Stayed in the game at catcher. 5 home runs, 20 runs driven in. Outside ball 2. Solis at third, Grundy at second, Bingham at first.
And you're thinking, let's produce an out here. Infield's way in, so it's difficult with a hard shot to knock it down in this situation when you're that far in.
It's almost got to be right at you.
Yeah, you just hope it is in this situation because sac fly, it's going to be hard to hold that run back for Utah.
Paige Parker having a conversation with Mistretti and the catcher. Everybody else. There's Carrion warming up in case. Carrion has been really good. Brooklyn Carrion.
Really consistent, too.
So now 2-0. And the pressure's on Mistretti here. Down 5-0 in the 7th. It's hard to see Utah giving up anything more. That's just an excuse me check swing. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, this is a dig deep moment for the Utes.
Wide open stance here by Richardson. 2-1 pitch. Late with the swing, got a piece. 2-2. Those are the best 2 pitches we've seen Mistretti throw in the last couple of batters. A strikeout here would be huge. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Up top, 3-2. There's nowhere to put Richardson. The bases are loaded.
Yeah, you just want to see some kind of a produced out. Of course, a strikeout would be amazing, but in this situation, just producing an out, defense will back you up.
Little flare into short right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. 1 run in. Everybody moves up. And it's now 6-0